let's jump over to what we were playing this week. MVG, would you hang out and play this week? Anything good?
Still playing through Demon Souls and Assassin's Creed. They just dropped that 60 FPS patch for Assassin's Creed, which is
Series S. Series S got it, right? So that's actually
Series S got it as well. And it's really good. So I'm just continuing to play through the game. Look, Assassin's Creed is a grind.
I gotta go back to that.
Valhalla it's not the best in the series, especially after last year, after Odyssey, or 2 years ago after Odyssey, which I think was one of the best games in the franchise.
Oh yeah.
This one, I think Jordan mentioned last week how it was, very repetitive, and the landscape looks exactly the same and everything. Look, it's not the best game, but I gotta play through it and see where this goes, because the story is at least interesting enough for me to continue playing through.
How many hours in are you in that?
About 25 so far.
Well, okay, I think you and I are probably about the same area then, unless you've done.
Yeah.
How I mean, it's pretty hard to go off the main story. They make you kind of stay on that main story.
Yeah.
But I think we're around the same part then. We're both about 25 hours in. That's all I played this week.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a time sink. It's Ubisoft.
It almost makes me wish that, like last time with Odyssey, where there was that, hey, you can buy this to level up faster and do things. I almost wish they gave me that option this time, because I would buy it now.
I agree.
It is a grind to do anything.
That double XP boost that they gave you last time, because this one feels like a huge grind just to progress through the game. Like you've got like 60 power, and you're all of a sudden you dropped into areas where it's like 100 power. You get destroyed. So you have to sit there and just grind and level up.
I think it's pretty interesting how they it feels weird, right? So when the first 10 hours of the game, I experienced little to no glitches or issues, and it was a very clean and polished experience. Anything after that has been filled with glitches, problems, game-breaking issues where I literally have to restart everything, and there's so many weird issues. It almost feels like, all right, here's a perfect 10 hours for the reviewers that only play a little bit and then talk good about it. And then once you hit past that 10-hour mark, all the problems occur. I've had bosses that don't fight back. I've had bosses that don't lose health. I've had characters that are instant death, or they don't notice you when you're standing in front of them. Voices that don't sync up. Characters that don't talk. Games that just stutter. There's so many massive problems in the game. And it's like the story is so fascinating, and I want to get through it. But every narrative mission, I've noticed this now, every territory you pledge to, which is the main goal of the game, is you pledge all these different territories to have them be on your side, your alliance. And it's literally like you go somewhere, you do 2 missions to serve these people, and then you fight a boss. And then you go and pledge somewhere else and you fight a boss. And it's just boring. It's a very, like, the story is interesting when there's the politics of the land going on, but anything else is just so boring. Like the fight, this is the worst fighting in Assassin's Creed yet. Like Odyssey had it down packed. The fighting, if they had just, like, they had another game come out this year that literally shits on this game, and that's Ghost of Tsushima. That game is thematically, gameplay wise, tight. There is not a problem. If you mess up, it is your fault in that game that you messed up in combat. Assassin's Creed, when the enemies do not have the same level of control and reactions that your character has, it's unbalanced. When they can not get hurt because they're in the middle of a swing, but if you're in the middle of an attack and you can get hurt, it doesn't work. And then it is consistently a grind. And half the time, there's glitches where you cannot hit an enemy. You cannot stun him. He'll just dodge everything you throw at him, no matter what you do, what special ability. It's sad to see those be in there when the last game in the series before this was so perfect. They nailed Odyssey, but Valhalla is a mess.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the only thing that's holding it for me is the story. Like you, I just want to see where it goes. I do like the 60 FPS patch. It definitely makes things feel a lot tighter control-wise. But yeah, I mean, you're right. There are just a lot of deep-rooted issues in that game that need to be fixed. And, they went to that 2-year cycle, right? Like, so they would remember how they would drop Assassin's Creed games every year, and they got to the point where, like, Rogue and some of the later ones just were so buggy, they stopped doing it, and they said, well, we're going to kind of take a step back and release them every couple of years now. You feel like that they should have this system down, but every time they bring out one of these games, except for Odyssey and Origins, they're just a broken mess, and they've just gone back to that again. So they need to do something with this franchise.
Weren't all you people telling me to buy this game and it was good? Like, I recall that.
I
didn't tell anyone to buy Valhalla.
Somebody was telling me to buy it. It was a good game.
It seems like a lot of super hardcore Assassin's Creed fans, because my Twitter has been full of people begging me, trying to tell me to try it.
Assassin's Creed fan.
But I wanted to ask you guys, one of the problems I've heard from people who've been more critical of it is apparently the way you kind of take over the land feels weirdly cartoonish. Apparently you'll like go in and like set villages on fire and people just kind of seem happy about it or something about it. Or the I've heard it feels like a weird, like it feels almost like a Disney version of history at times. I don't know.
Yeah, there's sometimes like one of the more recent ones I did where you face the repercussions if you just go in and burn down this area, and there's a big discussion on that, and who you are is this Viking character and what's right and wrong. But most of the times it's, yeah, I'm just gonna throw a torch on this building and it burns down. You collect the chest and you raided the area. So
yeah,
it's a mixed bag.
What about Sean over there?
I have been playing an enjoyable Ubisoft game, and that is Immortals: Phoenix Rising.
How much of that can you talk about?
I can talk about a good bit of it. Yeah, you could start talking today.
Impressions?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, people were playing it live yesterday.
Damn it.
Yeah, they opened up their streaming
Yeah,
for
they opened
it.
up
You just can't show
review-
certain
My
parts.
bag.
You can't show certain parts. There's certain parts you can't talk about, and you can't do like a review.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm playing the Switch version. I wanted the Switch version specifically because I feel that out of all the consoles that it's coming out on, the Switch version has the best version of being the most successful, because I just don't think that, it's going to sell very well in general, but especially on the PS5 and the Series X. So I wanted to see how the Switch version was, because I figured everyone would get it for the fancier systems. But I didn't quite know what to expect with the game. I had followed it a little bit, but it's very fun. I think the biggest surprise for me, there's like two big surprises. The writing in the game is fantastic. It plays out because like the whole time it's being narrated by Zeus and Prometheus, and it feels a lot like a really good 90s Disney movie as far as the dialogue is concerned. Like the voice acting is really good. The interactions between the characters it's like, it feels like you're watching, like an Aladdin or Hercules.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, Toy Story. It's got that vibe to it. And on the Switch, I saw some comparison shots of like PlayStation 5 versus the Switch version side by side. And yeah, the Switch version isn't going to look as good, but the map itself is huge. You can go from the bottom of the map to the top of the map with 0 loading screens. If you want to do that, I would recommend fast traveling, which will bring you to a loading screen, because it's a very big area. But yeah, it's I think it's really fun. The combat is fun. There's tons of upgrades you can do to your character. It's very, very open. It's so much, in fact, that some people might not like it, because for like the first 4 hours of the game, I don't know, like if I just wasn't paying attention or something, but I was like doing all this hard shit, and I'm like, why am I so fucking weak? Why am I so underpowered? And I just kept trying to do it. And then I was like, well, maybe I should just go to a different area. And then I went to a different area, and I was like, oh, this is probably where I'm supposed to be. So it's very open. It doesn't really, like, it sort of guides you. It tells you where the missions are, but it doesn't hold your hands. There's a ton of unlockable shit as well. I should have a video up before the release date, but yeah, it's really honestly a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And it's a shame that, because A, it's an Ubisoft game, and B, it's a new IP, that I think a lot of people are going to overlook it, but it's definitely enjoyable.
So I've also been playing Immortals: Phoenix Rising.
How far are you?
I don't know, 7 or 8 hours in.
Okay, I'm probably closer to 15 or so.
Yeah. So the game itself, Jordan, is done by the Assassin's Creed Odyssey team, if I remember right.
Yeah, the game's all right. I was able to play early on demo about a month ago at an event.
I'm playing it on the Xbox Series X right now.
Yeah.
Loading time's fine, all that stuff, right? This game somehow is one of the best looking games I've seen, and then also one of the worst looking games I've ever seen.
Okay.
So when you're
Yeah.
running around in the game itself, like the world itself looks good because they went with really, really vibrant colors. So if you have like a display with HDR and all of this, it jumps off the screen really well. But then they stop and the characters attempt dialogue, and the game looks like an early Xbox 360 or late PS2 game.
Yeah.
The animations
vibe I
are
got from
terrible.
it.
The
Mhm.
character models are like really bad.
They're standard.
I don't really know what happened there, but it seems like a lot of their thought went into the overall world, and it's done pretty well. Like I'm actually having a lot of fun with the game. I think it's well done, and it seems like it's an interesting world to explore. Which, all right, the game is basically them saying, "All right, Breath of the Wild was pretty good. How do we add Greek mythology and then dress it up just enough so it's not quite copyright infringement?"
You take the mythology of God of War, a little bit of the combat. You take the winged aspect of Kid Icarus and mix it with Breath of the Wild. Put it in a blender. There you go. What they should have done, if Ubisoft was smart, what they should have done was they should have did like they did with Starlink on the Switch and had Kid Icarus shit.
That
in
would have
the
been
Switch
cool.
version of
Yeah,
this
that'd have
game.
been a good
Like,
idea.
it would have lined up perfectly and it would have made it so good. But I don't know.
Well, my,
Yeah,
my
I'm-
question is because
The
I only
Starlink
got to play the
thing.
guided demo with them, a couple months back. But does the story seem okay so far? Because I didn't get to see too much
Yes.
of that.
It's very
Okay.
enjoyable.
It is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it because what happens is you're playing through it, and as Sean says, is it's a story being told by Prometheus to Zeus for an issue they're technically having. I don't know if we can talk. I don't know the story, but there's an issue they're having with a certain character, and you're going through. And what they do is things will happen in the game. Like you might run across a monster and Zeus is like, "That's boring. Make it like a big monster." And all of a sudden the monster turns into a big monster. And then Prometheus is like, no, this is how it actually happened. So the idea is Prometheus trying to tell a story as to how Zeus can basically win because of the help of a mortal. And then Prometheus will be free or something. So, but it's all being told, I guess, in the past tense, but also present tense because it's supposed to lead up to the events.
Yes.
But you hear them narrating certain parts, so it's pretty fun for that.
How's because I haven't got to play it yet, obviously. But how's Phoenix itself as the character?
He's
Generic, bland,
Yeah,
Generic. Okay. Okay.
he's pretty
forgettable.
I think the surrounding cast of characters is
Yeah, kind
more
of carry it.
him.
Got you.
Yeah, it has its own like that type of writing. Like it can be cute and fun, but it's a type of writing where it can get, if it overdone too much, a little bit annoying and kind of headache inducing.
I think I had some other. I think I had some other adjectives written down.
It's a game that I'm personally skipping on until later, till there's a discount, because I'm playing a massive game like Assassin's Creed, and in like less than 2 weeks I have Cyberpunk, and I'm not looking to put another massive game in the middle of those because
Is
I'm
it
already
a
worn
full
out from
game?
Assassin's
Is it
Creed.
60 or is it cheaper?
It's 60.
No,
It's,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
it's,
a- it-
it's a
it's a-
full
it is a-
game, yeah.
It is a big
It's a
game.
big game.
It's
Yeah.
a full game. Like you're
Yeah.
getting money's worth, and
Yeah.
and there's so much additional side stuff that's completely unnecessary unless you want to do it to upgrade your character even more and get more. There's tons of abilities to unlock and stuff. It's a big time sink if you let it.
I loved the combat in that game, but if you're not like really big on like the combat kind of style of games, I mean, it's not gonna be for everybody if that's the case. But to me, it's almost arcadey, like Breath of the Wild mixed with Hyrule Warriors at the same time. Like I had a lot of fun with it.
Okay. Wow. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to y'all's videos on it because it's one of those things where it just hasn't been on my radar. Like the little times I see it, I'm like, okay, but like, yeah, I've been DM'd with Archie T's been telling me about it. Yeah, I'll watch those videos. It sounds good.
Characters are very boring. That's all.
Spawn's like, let me tell you why the game is bad, but I can't stop playing it. I wish I could quit you.
No, it is
Maybe
a good
the
game. That should tell you how good the gameplay in the world is.
Oh yeah,
The-
true.
You shouldn't say that because someone from Ubisoft's probably watching and they're gonna like request that Sam Fisher gets dropped in as a DLC or something.
No.
Oh no.
That might be cool. There is.
I
some
mean, they've
stuff in
done
the
it with
game.
every other property, so just throw them into this one. Why not?
No, they'll probably like you go down to you go like meet Hades and like Sam Fisher's down there just like pulling
God.
doing different labor down there for Hades, and he's like, yeah, he's been here this whole time.
Oh, and some of the puzzles are freaking intense.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm also not looking for a puzzle game. You know, there's a lot of puzzles.
The puzzles so far that I've done are okay. They're not like Breath of the Wild level for like the shrines that they had there.
Some of them get
You just gotta move some balls around.
There's some pretty cool
Oh,
ones.
some of them get very. I had one that I was pulling my fucking hair out last night.
But what
That's a
level?
final
But like
click.
for like a fifth grader or for like an adult? Like what level?
I
are
would
we dealing with?
say. I can't say that. That would have gotten me in trouble.
Did you look at
Go on.
everything they sent over though, Sean?
No.
Never mind. Go on. Go ahead.
I just play the game. I saw. Oh, they sent like stuff that I could talk about and stuff, and they sent over a review guide. I'm not reading that shit. I'm not a child. I could figure out how to play the game myself.
Didn't you just say a puzzle was really giving you problems in that game?
There are hard puzzles in the game.
There are. Yeah, he's not wrong.
It's
have,
move
like-
the
they have,
ball
like-
to the other area.
No,
that the ball
okay,
needs
so
to
there's
go
one-
to.
They did have one that was like it was like Fling Smash or something where you shoot the ball at
Did you
like
do the
that
pinball
that
one
one
yet?
looks fun.
There was a
Almost fun.
puzzle last night where
No,
like
pinball. Yeah, no.
various
There's a fun one.
you have various boxes and you have to put them on various platforms based on weight. But there's also lasers that get enacted by the boxes. 2 of the boxes are made out of wood, and if the lasers hit those boxes will break. One of them is not made out of wood. So you have to figure out which box to put where and how to block a laser in order to put one of the lighter ones on the wood so that way it deactivates another laser. It was
That's
very
pretty easy.
You've already
Shut
talked
up.
me out of this game. You've already talked me out of this game.
no, it's an optional thing though. You didn't have to do it.
They have like you can go to these different. They're basically shrines that you find. Again, they were like, how close can we get to Breath of the Wild kind of thing. But it's, you know what? So far, I think the game's all right. So fun world,
Better
fun
than
gameplay,
expected.
boring character, terrible looking character
Big
models.
monster.
He does rise though.
All right, Scott, what have you been playing this week?
I've also been playing a Ubisoft game. I played Family Feud for Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
Wasn't good. They're still they're not good at making game show games anymore.
How much is Family Feud on the Switch? Is that expensive?
$30.
That is more than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yikes.
I was with some friends, and
Okay.
we were all pumping each other up. We were
Nice.
just like, oh man, Family Feud's on the Switch. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, the
It
Family
wasn't
Feud
good.
night.
It wasn't good. They're not. Ubisoft isn't good at making game show games. I also don't know why they make them, because they're never proud of it. They never announce it during their little press conferences. They only just fart them out during press releases.
Do they have a
Jeopardy
like?
and Wheel, didn't they? Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, they did those, and I don't like those ones.
Dude, they
Well,
didn't have fucking Pat Sajak and Vanna White in it. I
No,
remember.
and they-
Wait, does that mean
Jeopardy
they have a generic
was
host?
literally-
Yes.
In Family Feud has a
Mhm.
generic host too.
Yeah.
You ain't getting no
Oh.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not
And
watching
you
that.
can't
Off Steve
even
Harvey.
you can't even skip the cutscenes or whatever. They always like they're super like they over animate things and it just lasts too long. And I'm just like, just give me through the questions. Oh, that's just what I want. There's
Do they have
some
a
cool
fake
little,
Steve Harvey at least?
No, he's
It's
pretty
a generic
white,
white
from what I
dude.
remember.
Motherfucker.
Here's Hard Harvey.
Yeah, but nah, I remember they did the Jeopardy for Switch, and it's a fine little trivia game, but it wasn't Jeopardy. I was just like, what is this? Other than that, I've been playing Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. I
Oh
like
yeah,
it.
I think you like
I
it.
still haven't started it.
It's pretty good.
I
Yeah.
played more of it until Immortals dropped in.
Yeah,
Like,
I was like, the more I play of it, the more I like it. It's it's a Warriors game. You know, there's no getting around that. It's still a Warriors game, but I think they throw in enough cool stuff in there where it's just like it's just really neat to see how they take a lot of Breath of the Wild stuff, like just like the flurry rush and just your Sheikah Slate abilities and all that stuff, and the fact that like all the characters have different variants of like Cryonis or Magnesis or stuff like that they can just do all these different types of moves is really cool how they kind of reinterpret those as special attacks. It's a little weird because I think Breath of the Wild has like a really good art style, but it doesn't work in like all instances. Like in some instances it looks a little gross. Like sometimes when it's just like when it's really dark outside, or like when it's like when there's I don't know. It's just sometimes it looks a little weird. And then this game, they have a lot more cutscenes, and then they have a lot more like up close shots, and that's when it's just like you just see a lot of like really gross textures sometimes, or like really bad. I mean, not bad character models, more so just like really polygonal character models. But then you have like other instances where it looks really really good. But overall, I think it's a pretty good time. That's literally it. I'm in my hibernation mode of not playing a lot of games, and then I'll play games like in December.
When you get the PS5, right?
Get to that. Well, that's probably going to happen in like, I don't know, December of like in 5 years, with how things are going. So we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it so far. So it's been Family Feud and Hyrule Warriors.
Now with
so
Family Feud, do you have to type the answer in exactly, or does it like start to figure out what you're trying to type in?
Oh, it has some auto suggestions.
Oh, okay.
It has some auto suggestions. They also have some funky little modes where it's like, I guess if you're streaming the game, there's like a streamer mode, but it's also like kind of weird. It's like something where like the chat can throw in questions.
Oh, I'm sure that goes well.
Throwing answers or something. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's weird how it's set up, but
that's gonna be Scott's first big stream is gonna be.
Did you play the
dude?
No, the only time I was ever gonna
like,
stream was if I could do the mixer. If I could go on mixer the last day it was available. And I blew that chance.
What are you saying,
so
Jordan?
Over.
Say if you play that game on like the you change the difficulties, like the families on the other side are so ridiculous. Like there's one on like the medium difficulty where the girl's just wearing like almost like a dead mouse cat head just for no reason. Never's brought up. It's just like, here's this crazy cat family and this girl's just wearing a cat on her head. It makes no sense. It's great. They really polished it, and happy for him.
Yeah. Gosh. I don't even know what team at Ubisoft makes these games.
Well,
what team at Ubisoft makes
it's not the A team.
So Akon,
yeah, it's the S team. It's like the S plus team.
5 years ago, I was at a convention here in Dallas, and there was a panel, and it was how to make a video game. And I was curious as hell, so I went to it, and it happened to be run by Ubisoft. And the guys up there were the people who made the games like Cats and Dogs and stuff. And they said that.
I would love to hear what the hell their deal.
Well, actually, it was interesting because he basically said that that Ubisoft has a bunch of like 5-man dev teams. They don't even have a title, but it's just like, and so that's who makes those kind of games. They have like zero dev cost. It's not even 10 dudes. It's literally 5 people. Like, okay, let's make an animation and a generic host and Google some good questions and put them in the game. And so it's all profit. It's like literally printing the box is all the profit.
How many people work on the Just Dance games every year?
Half the entire studio. I feel like half those people are just the R&D people making up the dances, honestly.
It's less now because
that's what they do on their lunch breaks. Like, all right, everyone get the green screen suits on. You're dancing. You're dancing.
Everybody invent a dance or we fire you.
Yeah, how'd they
you want holiday pay? You're dancing.
How'd they do the wheel like that? They just had to leave it behind.
I know.
I feel like Just Dance is only going to last a couple more years now that they don't have a Wii release.
The Wii version.
Honestly speaking, yeah, that's the one. The people who want to play Just Dance.
Just
I mean,
Dance
I don't think that's. I don't.
was the best-selling one over the holiday so far. It's been the best-selling one. Was Just Dance on the Wii.
Honestly,
I retract my statement. I want to sound smart.
It's gonna be DMCA that actually kills Just Dance more than anything.
True.
Yeah, who's gonna be doing that now?
Play it at home. They'll just buy the game and play it at home.
Listen, if Lady Gaga causes me not to have a Twitch channel anymore, then.
Oh, Scott, I saw Dashies in the chat, so they got a lead on a PS5 for you.
No, I refuse.
Like if you're looking at not find one that's been sold by a scalper for like $1,000.
Battle for Bikini Bottom Collector's Edition. I'm not doing this again.
It's Kohl's PS5 or nothing.
That's all I'm getting. It has to be from Kohl's. I need a receipt from Kohl's.
I respect the incredibly high and stupid standards. It's very impressive.
Thank you.
Well, Dashi says Dashi has a PS5 for you, which is probably better than going through one of the like a scalper for like $1,000 if you end up looking for one still.
I appreciate it, but it's I don't know. That'll be fun. What's the scalper market looking like right now? I gotta look into
pretty
that.
good.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute too. Yeah, go ahead and pull those up on eBay.
What a good segue.
Let's go over to
$2,000.
let's go over to OJ.
Yeah, I actually played a lot this week, man. I played Immortals, but you guys already talked about it. So I played the PS5 version and I played the Switch version about equally.
Nice.
I did do one cool thing that you guys didn't talk about was I think this might be new. I don't know if it is, but like the Ubisoft online thing where you can transfer the save.
Yes.
That works flawlessly.
This is their first game. I believe they're trying that on with
the Ubisoft
consoles.
Connect. It works so well. You just upload your online save and it continues right off Switch, PS4. It works perfect. So I'm pretty sure it works with any other system. So if you wanted to, if you wanted to get like the Switch version for your portable version and the home console version to play it, or like the PS5 or Xbox, you can do that. No problem if you wanted to do that. So there's that. And then I also played Minecraft online. So there was that. I don't want to talk about it. And then I played the best game ever on Switch, Bakugan, Champions of I don't know how to say it. Vestroya Bakugan. I played Bakugan.
I thought you were about to say Bakugan Death Stranding. I'm like, okay, now I'm interested.
Yeah, go on.
There was more action in the beginning than Death Stranding. I did more than walk. So, but no, the game's not better than Death Stranding. But yeah, that game sucks. It's not very good. You just run around and throw these crystals at the monsters in the Bakugan. And then you just press a button and then they do an attack. I mean, it's all right, but it's just everyone was telling me that the Bakugan game on the Wii is a lot better. Now, I never was into Bakugan. I think I was too old by the time that it came out or whatever. So I can't compare it to anything, but I don't think it's a very good game. The side quests, the graphics are just terrible. The side quests.
Maybe it shouldn't have came back because it's called Bakugan and not Baku here. You know what I'm saying?
It should have said Bakugan.
Turn your camera off.
So yeah, it's not very good. And I think and it's full price too. I think it's full price.
No, it's only 50, sir. It's only 50.
It's 50. That's still full price, bro.
I'm sure my cousin's kids will love it for their Christmas gift.
Yeah, don't get your kids that. I would not get your kids Minecraft. Get them Minecraft, get them something else. That's much more fun. So I played that finally. And yeah, it's not very good. So yeah, there's that. And I played actually a good game that I played was Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. That game is extremely.
I ordered that game, but it's like 2 weeks to get here because everyone bought it.
Yeah, and it makes sense. They're not lying because it sold 500,000 copies already.
Yep.
It shipped out 500,000, and they're pretty much all gone. So way more. And this is like a 2-3 person team.
Yeah, good for them because I didn't see a lot of advertising other than people just talking about it online. And I was like, I'll get that too with the 13 Sentinels game. I ordered them at the same time, and I don't think I'm going to see Rice and was it Rice of Ruin? Rice of Ruin?
Yeah, Sakuna of Rice and Ruin.
Of Rice and Ruin. Yeah. So I'll see. Apparently, I'll see that midway through December. Is what they said. So
yeah, it's a hybrid game. It's you do combat, 2D combat, and then you also have like farming elements and stuff like that with it. It's really good. The controls are very smooth. The graphics are really good. The Switch version plays really well as too. The story's really good. It's funny. I really enjoyed it. I had the Divine Edition, so it came with some like nice. It comes with a little. I know, John, you like this. It comes with an actual. Did you get the Divine Edition or did you get the regular one?
I don't know. I have to double check.
How much did you pay? 40 or 60?
60, I believe.
Okay, then you got the Divine Edition. So
okay, cool.
Okay, yeah. You got the nice one. It comes with a nice actual like instruction booklet and pack and everything. So it's a really good
instruction book has made a comeback. All right, good.
Yes, it's made a comeback, dude. So I actually really like it. So if you guys, that'd be the game that I'd say to check out is Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. It's $40. Or it's $60 if you want the special edition. And I'm enjoying it has like English voiceover, it has Japanese, so it has both in there. So yeah, I enjoyed it. The voice acting's great. Really impressed with that game for like for as low as I saw it when Nintendo first showed it off, and I was like, why is Nintendo so gung-ho on this game? Nintendo like literally was like begging them to put that on the game, like put it on the Switch. Like they had to basically completely do things over because Nintendo's like, no, you have to launch this on the Switch, as well. So now after playing it, I see why they really wanted the game. It actually legitimately is amazing. So so I'd say go get that game if you want a game to play on your Switch, like a different game.
So what you're saying is you like the game.
I love the game.
All right, love it, sir.
What about let's go over to Click.
Yeah, I'll be quick since we're taking a while. I've been playing a ton of Age of Calamity and my gosh, this game, other than a few things, is an absolute dream. So I am
amazing.
Having an absolute blast. As someone who has thousands of hours of the first Hyrule Warriors, obviously loves Zelda. I am just, there are so many moments where I'm just like shaking my head at a complete just like fandom of like how much detail they put into this game for each of the characters and their kits and like little moments that I've always hoped of seeing that you don't actually get to see in the main game, and like now you get to see it and you just know what's gonna happen, and it's just like I already like my heartstrings are I'm trying to prepare them because they're gonna get ripped out, but it's an absolute blast and I'm loving it. So
should I start mine?
Jordan, listen, if you haven't started it on your own, I'm not going to try to convince you because, you know,
I bought it.
But I mean, if you, I personally, I'd say yes, but I mean, not everybody's going to like the Hyrule, not everybody's going to like the Hyrule Warriors gameplay style. You know what I mean? So I think it's up
to Warriors.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I personally, I love it. There's just something really satisfying about being, kind of like more resourceful of like how you're going to approach certain enemies or how you're going to approach certain types of mobs.
That game might make you a bit happier, Jordan, unlike Assassin's Creed.
I'm going to play it on my Switch Lite.
The bosses fight back, so I mean that's possible.
They take damage too. Yeah. No, I had a right before Spawncast, we had a really satisfying. It was just like one of the side missions. Like I love all the changes that they made from the first to the second. Like the fact
are great.
Yeah, but just like the fact that everything is on the open world. It's not like a separate menu. And while I do miss the adventure map and like the hundreds, if not thousands of missions that you could do as they added new DLC in the previous Hyrule Warriors, I like how everything is on the open world map. It's all on a different region for the most part. And it's places that you remember traveling in the original game. But it's just so much fun. Like when I first got, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who's probably interested in playing, but like when I first had to play as Rivali, I was so glad that they did not show his kit in trailers, in the demo. Like I was very, very excited. Like I was just shaking my head the entire time because like now I understand why he's kind of the jerk that he is as a character. Cause I was like, dude, this guy can totally, he's just a total beast. And like his kit's just different from any other like Hyrule Warriors character ever. And I had so much fun, but it's little things like that they just kind of withdraw from like the promotional content that when it actually happened, I was like, dude, this is.
What do you plan it on, Click? What difficulty?
I think I'm just on the second to hardest.
Okay, just hard.
Just hard, yeah. I didn't like want to be on a boss for like a full out hour necessarily.
No, hard is it's good that you start on there because you have to actually use all your kit. When you like if you play on normal, it's way too easy. Which you know that because you play
yeah.
So I should play on easy?
No,
I'd say normal. Honestly,
normal is just it's
easy
so
sounds pretty good.
You can just mash and then you don't have to really do anything on normal.
Not necessarily.
Hey, who doesn't like a good match? You know?
Hold up. Okay, so I've seen a lot of people like I uploaded a funny video of me like getting annihilated by a boss because I was doing like a no-hit challenge. And like people are like, oh, you just gotta do this and like send a lecture or whatever. And then I was going through the directory to watch people play Age of Calamity, and people are like, there are just people, OJ, that just cannot play this game, and then they get mad because they just don't understand how to play the game, and there's like so many moving parts. Yeah, but it's like. I just found it funny. So yeah.
Yeah, people because they think that you can just mash. Like you can't actually you gotta dodge. You've got to use your other. You got to use your Sheikah Slate. You can't. You've got to do other stuff. You know.
The fact that you have like 8 to 10 different options on how you want to approach each enemy is just it's.
Remember
phenomenal.
that part where you said you were going to be quick?
I'm sorry. I think that was only like 4 minutes. Okay, how far are we into stream right now?
As an Astral Chain professional, I think easy mode sounds pretty good.
Astral Chain.
You played like a total of like 30 seconds of Astral Chain.
Oh god.
No, I put at least a solid hour and a half into that game.
Okay.
What about Evan? Anything good going on over there?
Nothing really new. I'm still sticking with Genshin. They did a big event these past couple weeks, and the new content's been pretty good. And I've just been playing Apex with my friends since it finally came out on Steam not that long ago. So
nice. Okay. Cool. And then what about Max over there?
This week, just to be super quick, randomly, I had a hardcore craving to go back to Skyrim. So I've been playing Skyrim, the PS4 Special Edition. It feels better on PS5. The instantaneous load times help a lot, I think. And
you know they have a mod on the Xbox that uncaps the frame rate, so it runs at 60 frames now on the Xbox, which is interesting.
What?
It looks really good. The one thing I will warn people is if you use any of the mods are allowed on console now, but they deactivate achievements. So if you're trying to get achievements or trophies, you can't have those. But there are also some graphics patches people have been making.
It's interesting. Yeah,
it doesn't brute force it to 60, John, on
It's
the
just
Xbox Series X.
And otherwise, no. But there's a mod you can just check, and it uncaps the frame rate for the Series X.
Okay.
It looks good. Honestly, the big thing I was doing, because I streamed a couple hours of it on Thanksgiving, and at one point I just got on top of a mountain and looked out, and it seems, it's hard to explain what it did, but it seems like the draw distance is boosted somehow or something, because I feel like I could see details in like towns 5 miles away and stuff. It looks good.